Welcome back to the PM Talk Show. This is Pat Marsh, your host, and we have with us today our guest, Mr. Terran Perry, and I call him the principal of principals from Hammond Jr. High Magnet School, and he's doing such a fantastic job at his school. It's so well structured. The kids, it's just amazing. You just need to go by one day when classes are changing to see the order that's in there, and then go by one day when they're having lunch. I particularly like the part of when the kids come in and get their breakfast. He's doing some form of sensitivity training where the kids go in and they watch a movie about diversity and each other's culture, and this helps kids to learn why certain cultures do certain things, and that's a good thing, and I want to commend you. But during the second half, one of the things that we want to kind of settle once and for all, I'm still hearing some misconceptions about the amount of kids that are currently attending Hammond Junior High, and we want to put that to rest because I know it's more than 350. So just let us know how many kids and what the attendance from one year to the next.
Well, I read that in the paper, and that was a misprint. The amount of kids that we have this school year at this point should be 491 to be exact. That's consistent with the number of kids, the average number from the year 2000, 2001, when the school's always had a population between 450 and 500 kids. The most being about 504, and that was in the year maybe 2005, 2006. It was right after Katrina, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, there was a big influx during the Katrina years. But it's always been between there since the year 2000. So I think what's going on is that the misconception is happening as a result of the proposed plan, or the current plan. Under the current plan, there's a possibility that if this current plan stays in place, then we can see our numbers dwindle to about 350. However, with the proposed plan, we can see an influx or an increase in numbers to about 800 kids, and of course I'm very excited about that. So that's where the misunderstanding is coming into play at. But we've always been between 450 and 500 kids since the beginning. Okay,
so hopefully that will put it all to rest and we don't have to repeat this again. But when you talk about the increase to up to 800 kids that you can see, what do you attribute that to?
I attribute that to the addition of grade levels being added to Hammond Junior High School. I think, just for the record, I'm for the proposed plan. Great. I'm for the addition of grade levels to the school. It's simply because I understand how effective the instruction is in the school. I want the kids there. The younger I can get them there, the better off I think they'll be. And that's what I'm excited about in terms of grade configuration. So the increase in numbers would be namely due to the increase in grades, grade levels.
So that's a good thing then. Now, the STEM component of the school, let's talk about that a little bit.
Oh my goodness, yes ma'am. We are very, very, very excited about STEM. Not only are we excited about STEM at the junior high school, but the nation is excited about STEM. STEM is the newest thing that's out there, and the reason that we're excited about STEM is because it's just simply smart educational planning for our children's future. And knowing that 14 of the 20 fastest growing occupations in the nation, in the world, are STEM occupations, that's science, technology, engineering, and math. That's by the year 2014, that 14 of the 20 fastest growing occupations are STEM occupations. We can imagine what that number will be by the year 2019, when our 7th graders are getting ready to graduate from high school. So we want to prepare our kids. We want to prepare our kids for the future, prepare them for the jobs that are going to be available to them. And that's exactly what STEM education does in a nutshell. So I did receive a question at a parent meeting. The question was, Mr. Perry, what's going to happen to the core courses such as ELA, social studies, and science and math? Those core subjects, they're not going away.
Okay.
The core subject matter will remain. School is still going to be school. However, what we're going to do is integrate STEM in the process,
Right.
and create some elective courses that prepare those kids for STEM, kind of like Hammond High does.
Okay. Okay. So when you look at it, it's my understanding that a lot of the components that will come to you through via STEM, you're already doing it. Is that correct?
Sure. Yes, absolutely. Especially the blended learning component.
Okay.
What blended learning pretty much is, we have in our ELA courses, for example, our kids are basically, especially after this phase of testing, our kids will be reading science passages, and their ELA classes will be more geared towards science. They will be doing more writing in their math classes, which they've been doing since the beginning of the year. So a lot of those things that are a part of STEM, we're already doing.
Okay.
And also we've been working with Miss Cece Lanier, who's pretty much the STEM person, the STEM contact person for the district. She's been in that role for a little while now, and she's great. She's been on our team since the beginning, so we're excited about
When
that.
you say district, you're talking about this school system,
I'm talking
right?
about this school system.
Okay.
And yes.
How receptive is the state of Louisiana in helping you with this program, or anybody that might have it?
Well, at this point, we're in the process of writing a STEM grant, and the district is basically taking care of the grant. Miss Allison Andrews has partnered with Miss Cece Lanier. Cece, she does a STEM workshop pretty much at Southeastern every year, and we have quite a few of our teachers who are involved in that workshop. So we're pretty much, the state is there's money that's out there in terms of STEM. There's on the federal level, on the state level. So to be clear, the state will support STEM.
Okay.
The federal government will support STEM.
Good. How could they not do so with the way education is going?
They want our kids to be competitive.
Right.
They want us to compete. We're not only competing against other kids in the nation, but we're competing against kids throughout the world. And so the federal government wants Hammond Jr. High School to do STEM.
And Hammond Jr. High School is going to do STEM because you're already doing it. When I had Miss Danis on, Miss Seymour and Miss Hart Jackson, I was so impressed at the methods and the way they presented. I'm certain that this is how they present in school as well, because that excitement obviously is going out to the kids. So I want to commend you on having them on your staff. From the principal down to the janitor, everybody is, when you go there, they greet you with a smile. They want you to feel like you're at home, feel like you're welcome, and you can see the same things with kids. If you say, good morning, how are you doing? You have that really nice, warm reception now, which leads me to believe that having such an attitude in your school causes you not to have many discipline problems, and if you do, because all schools have them, then it's nothing that you can't handle right there at the school.
Sure thing. I'm glad we're talking about discipline. I am, and this is going to sound, I'm excited about the kinds of discipline problems that we have at the school, the things that we're focusing on. Because we have such a strong focus on academics this year, and I think that's the feeling that you're getting when you walk in the building. We went with the mindset that if we focus on instruction, if we focus on teaching and learning, we make it as rigorous as possible, we make it as intense as possible, then the discipline problems will pretty much resolve themselves, because the kids won't have time to become involved in things that the idle mind becomes involved in, because they'll be focused on teaching and learning. So as a result, you have a disciplined school. You have kids who do the right things. You have kids who are taking pride in academics. You have teachers and janitors who are taking pride in academics and taking pride in the school. The things that we focus on at Hammond Jr. High School in terms of discipline, talking too much in class, is talking in the hallway. We focus on dress code violations, and those are things that are impressive to focus on in terms of discipline inside of a school, given that I've been in schools before that we wish that we can focus on dress code violations. We had to focus on fighting. We had to focus on disrespect and disobedience. So that's what I mean by I'm very excited about the kinds of discipline issues we're focusing on at the junior high school.
Yeah. When you look at that, it really shows when a person goes into your schools, because if you were not doing that, it would be easy to tell because you would hear all of the negatives when you walked in. Let's talk about Greenfield Baptist Church, who has adopted Hammond Junior High, and I want you to talk a little bit about what your school was presented. And when it was presented, I told Reverend Hannibal, I said, teachers act like you gave him $1 million. And so let's let you talk about that a little bit.
Just a little history on Greenfield Baptist Church. I'm sure you pretty much know the history more so than I do, but I grew up in the neighborhood. I've been knowing Pastor Hannibal for, well, he probably changed my diapers, put it that way. So Greenfield donated about 40 calculators, 40 scientific calculators, if I'm not mistaken, to our school and to our kids. And I think the excitement that we got from the teachers and from the students even was that they saw that even the pastor of the church across the street, even the pastor, now you have the mayor, you have the pastor of the community church, you have parents, you have teachers, everybody's supporting them, it's a village. And I think that's where the excitement came from, just the fact that everybody wants to see these kids succeed, and I think Pastor Hannibal's gesture was the icing on the cake. Yeah,
I think it was too. So business community, parent community, or just a community period, why not check with Mr. Perry and see if there's anything else that he needs for his school, and maybe you'll be able to get in on this train that's going a long way with student education in Tangipahoa Parish, because it is a good thing. And we want to say again in our closing, thank you for being the principal that you are.
Thank you.
On behalf of all the kids in the community and the parents, thank you for taking an interest in the kids and saying, one thing you said that really impressed me, I want Hammond Junior High to be the school that I can send my children to.
Absolutely.
And that was paramount. Well, we're getting ready to close, and we want to thank Mr. Perry for coming. You will be back after LEAP.
Sure thing.
You will be back after LEAP, and we'll have a more of a success story to tell you about what's going on at Hammond Junior High. This is Pat Marsh, your host. We thank you for joining us today out here on Miller Lake. Please join us again for the PM Talk Show. Thanks again, and God bless.